Hey there, so I want to talk about the Lydian scale, in particular the A Lydian scale. It's one of the scales that I talked about in my video, my 10 top scales, or top 10 scales. Actually it was 12 scales. And a Lydian scale is kind of just simply a major scale with a raised fourth. Well, what does that mean? Well, an A major scale would be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Right? And so it's kind of very familiar. That's the do, re, mi scale. Well, if we take the fourth degree of the scale and raise it up one fret or up a half step, then we end up with a Lydian scale. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's count up the scale. We have A, which is 1, B, which is 2, C sharp, which is 3, D, which is 4, E, which is 5. Let's go that far. That's as far as we need to go. Just the first 5 notes of the A scale. Well, let's take that fourth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, and go up a half step, and we end up with D sharp, okay? The Lydian scale has a really interesting sound. Composers use it all the time to kind of create drama, to create tension. Kind of hard to tell with heavy metal sound, but basically you get the idea. And it's a beautiful scale, but if you actually analyze it, an A Lydian scale is exactly the same as an E major scale. So why not just play an E major scale? Well, you totally could. You could totally play an E major scale over an A chord to create kind of a Lydian sound, and a lot of players think that way. But I find that if you actually think Lydian scales, you're going to play things that are more intrinsically Lydian, that are going to highlight that sharp 4, maybe the major 7th, and certain notes that just are kind of haunting and make it just plain sound more Lydian, okay? If I were to play just E major scale over A, and I'm just thinking E major, I probably won't do anything naturally that sounds real Lydian. It's just going to sound like a bunch of E licks over an A chord. Now, I'm going to show you how to play the Lydian scale right here in the 5th or 4th position, and then I'm going to just kind of jam over a pad, just a chord, basically a G sharp over A, like a kind of a G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, maybe F sharp in there, all over an A note, okay? And I'm going to jam over that, and you can see and hear some of the tendencies and the cool things you can do with a Lydian scale, okay? But let me show you the scale to start with. Here we go. Ready? So second finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string, then your pinky on the 7th fret of the 6th string, and there's your A and B, okay? And then we're going to go to C sharp, which is on the 4th fret of the 5th string with our first finger. And then we're going to play the D sharp. There's our Lydian note. That's the note that sets us apart from the major scale. And that's at the 6th fret of the 5th string. And then we're going to go to the 7th fret. Okay? Let's just play that much so far. Right away you can hear the possibilities, and you can hear how that Lydian is just totally different than a major scale. Okay, let's continue from there. So, first finger on the 4th string, 4th fret, F sharp. And then we take the 3rd finger and put it on the 6th fret of the 4th string, and we get G sharp. And then we go to the pinky and play the 7th fret of the 4th string, and that's a full octave now. We've gone A to A. Okay, let's continue from there. Pinky on the 4th string, 7th fret. We're going to go to the 4th fret of the 3rd string with our first finger, and there's our B. C sharp, which is with our 3rd finger at the 6th fret. Then we're going to go up to the 4th fret again on the 2nd string. There's our Lydian note again, the D sharp. There's our E note, like we're tuning the guitar, at the 5th fret. Then pinky on the 7th fret. And then first finger up on the 4th fret, and then we can finish it off right here at the 5th fret with an A. Now you can do that with any major scale. So if you take a C major scale and raise the fourth note, you just created a C Lydian scale. So this information is super transferable, and what I would suggest doing is find these A major or A Lydian scales all over the fretboard. I'm going to kind of, when I'm jamming here, I'm going to go ahead and move around the fretboard a little bit. I'll try to stay in this position mostly, and I'll try really hard not to play any other notes than the notes that are in the Lydian scale, but that sometimes can be hard. But I'm going to play A Lydian mostly in the fourth position, but I may jump up here a little bit, maybe use an open string or something like that, okay? Let's